Welcome, everybody, to Help the Helpers on October 13th. I was asking what people in the States call this holiday, and Jim said October 12th, but I think the rest of us might call it October 13th. And we have Marvin with us, and you have to say the name of your island again, Marvin.
I said Mauritius.
Mauritius. Oh, yes, Mauritius, between Africa and Australia. And he showed us a picture of it. Beautiful, beautiful island. So, welcome, and very happy to be with you this morning. Karina, do you want to
Yes,
introduce Marvin a little bit?
Marvin has been at some of the lessons taught by Gosia Boshinska, who is one of our helpful helpers. And he has been very active in the Inner Development Goals, which is a branch from the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, where we develop inside in order to offer something tangible outside.
Oh,
It's very special that you've come, and Dorothy has an attunement for us, and then we will have the lesson with Marvin. Dorothy.
okay.
A microphone, Dorothy. Yeah, so we can hear you.
Would just like to welcome you today again. And you can close your eyes or not, whatever feels good. And I'm just going to invite you to be silent for a minute and just to let yourself feel whatever you're feeling. The thoughts that feel good to you and thoughts that feel maybe not so good, and just to let all of that come in and to allow for acceptance. We're just in the midst of so much turmoil outside of us, so it just feels really more and more important to make some space. So I'll be silent myself for a short bit. Okay, I invite you back again to the room, and I look forward to hearing Marvin, as I'm sure all of us do. Thank you, Marvin.
And
Thank you.
for Dorothy, poem. I can read it if you like.
Maybe, oh, I'm sorry. David White, Start Close In. Start close in. Take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing. Close in. The step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know. The pale ground beneath your feet. Your own way of starting the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear listening to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take.
Oh, wow. Jean Genlin would love that poem.
Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Lynn, Christine, thank you, Katarina. And thank you, everyone here involved in helping others and in that reading of gift. I'll try my best to keep you here in my heart. So the text could bring you some form of renewed energy and clear understanding. The rhythm of the reading is quite sustained. So you might realize at some point in time that you may have got off the track, and that's fine. Please do just step back and get back in. Are you okay? Shall we go? Gift. A book to be read to the other. Have you ever had the feeling that the world is much more than what it seems? As if by going back in time, we could get closer to those who were guessing, but beyond the horizon, something else lay. Would you take a moment, maybe wonder, and become like one of them? Would you dare? If we think about how this would have happened, we could imagine the different steps that would have led to the design of what would become a vessel, which today we call a ship, an airplane, a space shuttle. Have you ever had any thoughts about what lies beyond the firmament? Questions that have now been answered for the vast majority of us. Because now we know, even if most will concede that we may not know everything, but enough as far as we are concerned. My question is, what awakens in us the desire to know a little more? Could it be the necessity? Could it be this ability to understand, which once it has been satisfied, wants to be useful to something else? Or the feeling of having given enough to life prevails, and it may be better to say to oneself, what's the point, since others are already taking care of it? Since embarking on an adventure, even if it's called gift, probably holds surprises, I prefer to warn you here that the following may be of no use at all, or it may be so useful. Anyway, be warned. It is therefore a journey that we are going to make together to discover what is hidden. I should say what is within our perceptions, what we deduce from them, and the conclusions we draw. To do this, let's imagine being both the vessel and the explorer. This is your gift, the one that will allow you to connect with yourself, perhaps like never before, except in some dreamlike thoughts or in once-off experiences. It will be like a journey in our two worlds in some 20 minutes. Is that okay? Shall we go? Yes, thank you. First, let's distinguish that there is an external world, one where we set ourselves into action, where we seek to settle in some places, that external world that promises us so much. And there is an inner world, one that holds much more than we know, one we possess without being that concerned with, one that we often misunderstand, even though we feel good there. So here you go. Like any journey, we need preparation and at least to learn the means to make the journey. Let's take a closer look. You just have to open your eyes to notice that there is in front of you a world. But wait, what do you really see? Are you scanning only with your eyes? And if you stayed on this or that, would you say that there are some physical elements closer to you and others that are less so? Would you realize that the very movement of your eyes can bring your attention to these different points? But there may be no interest to stay any longer. In this case, move your eyes. What are you waiting for? Or you would end up falling asleep. What if at the same time you let your eyes rest from time to time on what is closer to you? Perhaps one side of your nose, the frame of your gaze, that of your spectacles if you wear a pair, or one of your hands. And now try to go further. Select one object in front of you, then another, the floor, existing features around you, maybe a plant. What moves, what stays still. Just for a few hundredths or tenths of a second, stop here or there. Try it. Take a few moments to try to look, then watch, then see. And to complete with this first warm-up phase, see what may be further away. Go ahead, look further. What do you see? The ceiling, the window, the clouds, the horizon, the sky perhaps? While being attentive to what there is, do not let yourself be distracted by the thoughts that come and go. We will look at them later if you want. Still warming up, what are the sounds that surround you? Take the time, even a short moment, to be interested in them. Noise or lack of noise, sound caused by humans, their voices perhaps. Oh yes, my voice. Sounds that can be heard where you are. So take a brief moment to pay attention to some of them. Are they on the left side or on the other? Consider what produces them, but also what these sounds reveal. Do some sounds occur momentarily? Do you hear them in the distance? Or is it closer? Would you acknowledge that there is quite some information in a sound? Would you say that there is so much in this outside world? To start the journey whilst continuing the warm-up, now consider the two together. What you see and what you hear. And note the nuances when the source of a sound is visible and when it is not. I hear the sound of wind and the birds here, but I can't see them. except maybe think about them or imagine them. Beware not to daydream. Let us come back to our senses. Are you ready to continue? What does your skin feel? The wind that brushes your arm, the ambient temperature, the sun's rays, if any, the contact of your skin with your clothing, or whatever the soles of your feet are resting on. Take a few micro moments to note this information. For most of the time, it remains unused, except by our system that adjusts to it. Now let's turn to taste. Perhaps there is still of what was swallowed not so long ago. Or the mouth, having become a little numb, reminds us of something familiar. Maybe there's an absence of taste. Anyway, take a moment to let your attention wander there. From the tongue to the sides, from the palate to the very beginning of the throat. And here we are getting so close, but we can take the opportunity to pay attention to the odors that exist. So let's stay with this very delicate sense, so difficult to access for some, but not for others. What do you smell? Something floating around in the air, or is it more specific, like a smell emanating from what's right near you? Maybe there is a permanent odor, or one that pops up and then disappears. And to finish the warm-up, let these different types of information manifest themselves without necessarily paying too much attention to them. As if you could see, hear, feel on your skin, taste, and smell inside your nostrils at the same time. Maybe everything freezes, maybe not. Maybe you are trying to do something about it. Let all this be. Keep trying or stop as it suits you. If you're ready to continue the journey with your senses sharpened to some degree, that's great. See how your eyes can become like a gateway. As the light enters them, and let's go for this interworld journey. Before taking off, take the time to focus on a specific point, preferably far. Even if you feel like you're putting in some intensity, let your attention relax so that the light moves and comes towards you. Take your time. There's no need to count for the moment because what is of value is just within reach. Let your gaze move and rest in the void, as if you could see without necessarily looking. And now, close your eyelids temporarily and take note of what you can and can't see. By moving your gaze at the speed that suits you, take note of the differences in the intensity of the shadows. As you continue to relax, keep your attention on what's going on inside those eyelids, maybe in the upper parts. If you can keep your eyes parallel, adjust the pressure of concentration, and perhaps you will feel as if you are seeing some depth into this darkness. Can we say space? As if there is volume that is unoccupied. If you like, you can move there. Go for it, while realizing that you can get back to where you were before. Stay awake, a little floating perhaps, or simply composed. Take advantage of this state to pay attention to your hearing. Do you find any sounds that have already been identified? Do you discover others? Take the time to let them get to you, not necessarily invade you. You may have been there too. If you wish, come back. It is a question of hearing without necessarily listening. Some will hear their inner voice, thoughts perhaps. You don't have to. Just try to be available to yourself. It could be different voices or just one. In any case, don't let yourself be too captivated, but welcome what is heard. If there's nothing to hear, try to remain available to this silence, no matter how long it lasts. And if some voices come and have an effect on you, let the effect express itself as much as possible, and then let the voices go. If you're ready, let's go back to the eyes. We are now interested in the physical sensations, which can be movement or tension. Again, with your eyelids open or closed, see if you notice the movement of your eyes. It is a question of feeling without naming. Simply the physical sensation, without paying too much attention to trying to interpret or make sense of this information. Slowly move your eyes from left to right, while remaining attentive to the movement it generates inside. Let your attention be free, and maybe you will take note of other internal movements accompanying these movements. Let your attention shift delicately until you take note of the movements of your breathing. If possible, linger on your rib cage, then on your diaphragm, or on the movement of the belly. Try to expand your field of consciousness by focusing your attention on different parts of your body without dwelling on them too much. If you want, go back to the nostrils and still take the time to note the movement, not of the air, but rather of a sensational wave caused by the air moving through them. Take a deep breath as you are now going to dive towards the feet. Are you there? Do you feel something tingling? Nothing? A certain inner tension? Move the toes slightly and very, very slowly, almost imperceptibly. This will help you stay alert to the internal parts of your body that are contributing. Be careful. We will now quickly go up to get back to your breathing, and now to your eyelids that you can press and release, and to your forehead, which can be tensed or relaxed. Let's take a moment here. Let it all settle. Let these different sounds and sensations take you where they want. The physical sensation here becomes a physical feeling, like a message emanating from the body. Let's give it some interest without being too encumbered by words that want to manifest. But if that's difficult, just notice that we have that sense that allows us to listen and hear. To be connected to one's body is to be aware that any manifestation in the body is information that one can treat as such, or on which one may want to put words. A journey inside helping you to connect to what's going on there. Now, try to bring your attention to your hand. Place it on your chest, where you might start hearing your heart beating. Yes, to feel might be a more appropriate word. Take the time to enjoy this moment. Eyelids closed or open, it's up to you to find what suits you. But stay with your heart and with its beating. If you can enjoy, as if you could appreciate this moment just by taking the time to be in contact with what manifests inside your body. Savor. Journey inside helping you to operate.
Tomorrow. No, Wednesday.
Like that. Journey inside helping you operate what is yours. While keeping your hand on your chest, let your imagination run a little wild and shift your attention to your mouth. Some tingling on the tongue, some salivation maybe. Go back to your heartbeat. Enjoy and savor this moment again. See if in your thoughts there are people who are dear to you and whose eyes you count. Who knows? In whose eyes you are priceless. Perhaps a parent, a child, someone who is still here or who has left too soon. Take the time to let some names and memories come back to your mind and stay with your mouth. What do they find in you? What do they recognize in you? How good it can be to remember them. And see if you recognize yourself in these events, the qualities that are yours, the moments of life that you have gone through, pleasant or not, but moments that you have lived, moments that still count. Enjoy and savor as much as you want. Life sometimes has this taste. While remaining attentive to yourself and while being in contact with inner movements, if you want to take this exercise a little further, enter with much respect deeper into your memories. And find moments of life, your successes, revealing your talents, your failures having called for more self-control, maybe strength or a force that got you somewhere as you moved forward in your life. And get a taste of life again, a taste of yourself. Now come back to your heart, back to your breath. We are beginning the last stage of this exploration. The scent of gratitude is not necessarily felt in the nostrils, but rather in one's whole being or in specific places inside. To access it, let's look at the sequence of breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale. If you're still available, pay a little more attention to that first moment in between. Inhale, pause, exhale, inhale. Now you will have to hang on tight because taking the time of a second pause is anything but easy. Exhale, pause before, then inhalation. We don't typically practice this except for a few free divers, athletes, and performers. You want to give it a try? Perhaps your hand on the heart can help with this. Let's go. In 4 steps. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, and so on. And together, let's count now, as if we had embarked on this journey and we could be playing the same orchestra. You will dictate the measure. I recommend that you find the tempo that suits you and that allows each sequence to have the same duration. At the beginning, it may be hard, especially the second pose. But remember, with your hand on the heart and the ability to feel your heartbeat, it will be fine. If you can't do it, let me give you the rhythm. Let's count 1 and 2 for each sequence. Inhalation 1 and 2. Pause in 1 and 2. Exhalation in 1 and 2. Pause in 1 and 2. And repeat. As you go along, adjust. Maybe 1 and 2 and 3 for each sequence. As if this journey was along the perimeter of a square. When you get used to it, maybe in a few days, move on to 4, and later, why not 5? But be careful because you're getting closer to the end of our journey together. Return to those people you could imagine or see, and who count for you. Place yourself under their gaze, as if you could feel their presence, as if you could feel the love they have for you. Hear the thoughts that come to you about them or theirs about you. Note your internal sensations, the beating of your heart if possible, and savor this experience again. And tell yourself what you want to tell yourself. Or perhaps it is words that you want to say to them. You may experience an increase in feeling, one that would like to invade you. Perhaps it is unusual, perhaps it is too much or too soon. It is up to you to decide. This is the gift that you can give yourself. If you want for these last minutes to increase what this experience could offer you, let's try to feel life as it can manifest itself inside. To feel life would be the ultimate connection with oneself, and why not to what is beyond as a communion? Yes, it's about feeling life within yourself. Feeling life, is this at all possible? Let's try. Go back to your breathing and its sequences. Inspiration in 1, 2, and 3. Pause in 1, 2, and 3. Exhale in 1, 2, and 3. Pause in 1, 2, and 3. Whilst you will be exhaling, try to empty your lungs as much as possible. And at the end of this 4th step, just as you are about to catch your breath, stay relaxed. And try to give some more time before you inhale. And recognize what's happening. What changes as your lungs, eager to fill itself, finds its breath again. Take the time. Appreciate the experience. Appreciate the unwinding moment and feel the renewal of what seemed to go away, that is present, that always was. A breath that renews itself as it does all the time and naturally. The breath that reminds you of a promise that life bears for you. If you want to say thank you, do so. You can connect back to your memory and remember what you have benefited from, starting with life itself. How is it imaginable, the magic by which those cells met and cooperated to multiply and become your body? And this body built for this life to live in. Mystery or magic? Allow yourself to be challenged by the possibility that your body could be animated, even inhabited. To return to this promise of life, perhaps it is that of being present in each of us without expecting anything in return, except to continue living there. Here ends this journey inside together, which may have helped you connect to yourself and for some to something bigger. Thank you.
I think it will take us a minute to come back to each other after that journey. Thank you so much, Marvin.
Thank you.
There's also another feeling, a feeling of in the body of readiness to speak and something to say, something that wants to be said. And we can open this space for that feeling to come, the feeling of something that wants to be said. And then, like breathing, we can say it. Kind of saying and hearing are like breathing. One process.
Let there be peace everywhere for everyone.
I felt like the journey was a journey of waking up. But then when we came back together, when we come back together, it's as if we've been in another life and there's a waking up to each other, a different waking up. And when I look at your faces, many of you look as if you've just woken up.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Marvin, and all of you. I guess I need it a lot. Like, for me, it's like a reminder that I'm like much more than my experience and the life circumstances I'm in or I were in at a time. Then I'm just much more than that, much more than that can be described by words. I mean, not just me, all of us are much more than we can define. by words. So yeah, for me it was very important to remember that. Thank you.
You.
Mm.
If I may say something, it's difficult to say something because I don't know. I don't want to interrupt whatever is happening for anyone. We planned to allow that landing and have a time for sharing. There could be that possibility of being in pairs in breakout rooms and having a conversation around the experience, or staying there, or a mix of that.
So maybe we'll give another few minutes, maybe 5 minutes or so for saying in the group and for conversation as we slowly feel it ready to come. And then Marvin wants us to break into partnerships today. And then we'll continue saying and listening from that place. But then we have the choice also of people who want to stay in the main room. But let's just give that time, see what comes. In focusing, we talk a lot about the pause and having time to really feel what's coming. But it's very difficult sometimes for some people to allow the silence and to trust the silence and to allow it to come as it comes. So we're practicing allowing the speaking and allowing the silence. I'm wondering what the silence together feels like, to us. Does anyone want to say what does this moment feel like? Like all of our senses are opened with Marvin's meditation. And then what does it feel like to be together, to be quietly together? What does the silence say?
Do you want an answer?
Sure. I could see, June, that something was coming that wanted to be said in you.
Peace to be.
Peace to be.
I feel space to just be with this in and out kind of flow motion of the breath, or me painting over there, coming back here, turning the camera on, turning it off, listening acutely, listening in the background. So freedom.
Freedom.
Sounds like a sense of flow.
Mm.
me, there is a comfort in the silence
Mm.
and a discomfort in the space the silence gives
Mm.
because of what it's allowing to come up.
Yes, yes. Comfort in the silence. I'm wondering if there's anybody that feels discomforted with the silence, because we always want to make room for all of the feelings.
And maybe both at the same time, comfort and discomfort can both be there, can both be there.
Yes, yes. The comfort can be big enough to include the discomfort.
Well, I was thinking side by side, but it's interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, side by side.
So for me, this silence is more, it's feeling, so it's personal. I just had the feeling the silence is not peace right now. I had more the feeling it's holding back.
Oh,
There is a kind of tension in the holding back of the silence. I can sense also the space and the silence, but there is also something.
holding back. Can you feel that more about that holding back? Sort of like a different kind of reading. We could feel, what is that holding back that you sense?
So maybe there is a sense of what is under the silence. So in my experience, silence could be kind of richness and openness, but there could be also silence that is a covering. It's like a veil, and the holding back in the silence is like, if I use Gentlin's words, I would say like a stop in the process. It's not a flowing silence, but there is a stop in the silence when I sense in that.
So as Charles says, the comfort and the discomfort can be side by side, and I had said within it, but that the image was side by side, and there can be flow and stop side by side, or the stop can be within the flow, or the flow can be within the stop.
Yes. And maybe it's also a feeling of, so there is this comfort, but it's also a kind of sensing, where is the aliveness?
Where is the aliveness?
Yeah.
I love that question. I wonder if we can go into our partnerships and continue from wherever you are, speaking and listening deeply. And if it feels right to you, to go from the Alexandria's question of where is the aliveness? It's locating it, but also allowing it to be in all the places, even in the discomfort, there's aliveness. So we're going to go into our breakout rooms for 15 minutes and we'll come back at 9:30 and then we'll share, what happened there in the dyads. See you soon. Yeah, it's so good to see you. Welcome back, everybody. We're not all, maybe we're all back.
Mm.
Welcome. So how was your breakout rooms?
Okay.
Was it different to have a partner and talk with one other person?
Yeah.
How was it different, Charles?
Well, it was kind of, it was more interactive, obviously.
Yes.
And it was good to just feel into the nuances of our experiencing together. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Alexandria, did you come closer to what is alive?
Yes, I would say yes.
Yeah.
And maybe so far, I would say just to realize that there are, because I talked with Charles and he's in New York and I'm in the countryside, and people immediately connect aliveness with nature. But I said aliveness has much more layers, listening to music or looking at art. It brings something else kind of aliveness forward. So to get also the different aspects or layers of aliveness.
Mm, mm, mm,
It was very, very enjoyable.
mm.
And how we're present in our process of listening and being together.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go into a breakout room because I wasn't really able to emotionally get into the exercise. And I didn't want to be honest with someone in a breakout room because I didn't want to ruin their experience. And it's interesting to me that some people will go into a breakout room and that's the only place they can feel free to say what's really going on with them.
Mm.
So I think there's a lot of performance in the group.
Mm.
And sometimes I'm able to go into a breakout room and be free, but today I couldn't because I felt that it was too
You felt like you would be a downer or a naysayer or something.
yeah, an outlier, a naysayer. And then even right now when people are back, oh, it was wonderful. It's, oh, we're together. Oh, and there's such a group think about it that, it's intimidating to me. And it's especially intimidating because the group think is so nice. It's hard for me to explain. It's like, how can you reject all this goodness? You must really be horrible. So that's my reaction. I exiled myself to the big room.
Uh-huh. But you feel free to say that you couldn't get into it here in the big room.
It's like, number one, the tension becomes so much that then I have a little bit of a pouring, and it's very typical of me in these meetings. Usually I pour at, let's see, 9:44. So But also I know of other people who poured to one other person, and that sort of free, there's always this thing of sort of being good in the classroom, and then maybe you make one friend. Oh God, that I can't, that who's sort of like mind. So anyway, there's a tension between the group and can you find a friend who you can really say how you really feel, that's, not like the classroom where we're all one, and the irony of Gendlin hating groups, right? There's that.
Well, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel like an irony. It feels like in trying to embody Genlin's principles in a group, there's the sense of the group and there's the sense of the making room for the outliers, and that the majority of people isn't the rule, that that there's room for all of the different feelings and thoughts. And I think in some way, at least for me, I don't know for other people, I'm always working with that. The idea of, I think you're worried, Liz, and it's an important worry. It was Jean's worry that you spoil what's happening for the majority of the people by saying, oh, that's not happening for me. And then you feel like the majority of the people will frown on you for spoiling it, so that it's an us and a them. The one friend in the classroom becomes a little us to the them. And I think that that's a very important concern, and you hold that spot there to help with the group think. But for me, what I really believe that we can have the group experience and not have group think, where everybody that thinks differently is a them. But that's that's the edge that we're working on. I don't know if that's making any sense to people.
Thank you. I had trouble from the very beginning. I mean, the presentation was so organized and formed and good, but that was it David White at the beginning, and it was in the imperative voice. It was like, I know there's suggestions and they're gentle, but that it was a poem, or it was do this, don't do that. I heard it as
you heard it
in my way,
telling you what to do.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
Jean tells this story about how he's giving someone focusing, guiding suggestions, and the client says, "Don't tell me what to do inside myself." And how about the rest of you? Anybody have any thoughts about what you experienced, or any thoughts about what Liz is saying?
Well, we were speaking in our dyad about some other flavor that Marvin brought that we are not, that is not the usual culture here.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a feeling for me of wanting to go away, wanting to come back. What is this And I did come a little bit late when we were reading the poem. That also, usually the poem comes at the end. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Now we're changing poem at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Like that, actually. But there was so yeah, in my group we were speaking of another taste, like another dish.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Right, right, right.
And then I realized sometimes that I read a little bit about what is going to happen, and I looked for it and I missed it because I looked back, said there was nothing, and actually I looked back and there was something.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
That's interesting too.
Yes, yes, yes. So there was another flavor introduced um, into our stew, our focusing stew. Marvin, I'm interested in how it was for you to
No,
bring
thank
this
you.
presentation.
Thank you, Lena. I would like to say, first of all, thank you, because all the comments, questions, feedbacks, appreciation and questioning, all these are such a gift. And I'm there sitting, trying to understand, and as if I can't, as if there's nothing, to understand. At least just be there, a bit lost after having read it, a bit lost. But at the same time, um, very grateful, thankful, because you're allowing for different perspectives to emerge and to play quickly and run away, and that's it, that's done. So staying with what came out of the experience. Um, I'm not sure I can't help myself to try to put something like an understanding of some conditions or some manifestations, and I guess that it's too early for me. Too
Say
early.
that last sentence again, Marvin.
I guess that is too early.
Too early.
Too early, yeah, and just let it be, let things be, hear what people tell you, absorb it as much as you can, take it on board and let it be. Don't try to do anything with it, just let it be. And it's not easy, but there's no other option available to me. Let's
There's
see
no,
better
say
other
that
options. I don't have
options. Yes, it's
options
not
available.
easy, but there are
No other
no
options
other
available,
options too. Yes.
but makes sense, yeah. So that's from me. So thank you very much for what I can say, yeah.
You were saying after you read it, then you were a little lost and had to absorb all of what was going on in the group. Did I get that right?
Yeah, no, like being put, I was on hold.
Ah,
On hold.
while you were reading, you were on hold.
And after, yes.
And after, oh,
I mean,
but now you're not on
hanged
hold.
to the wall. Now it's becoming a little bit more accessible inside.
Ah, good, good,
Yeah.
good, good.
Yes, thank you.
Now you're becoming part of the group, right?
Feel a bit more part of the group,
Or
absolutely.
part of the group.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
I know that feeling so well in me. of like doing a presentation or a reflection. And then it's like I've made this thing for the family, like this food for the family. But then I don't get to eat it because I'm running around serving it. And then it takes me time to come back to my individual self and say, oh, where am I? You know, what do I feel here?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
Thank you.
I for one really want you to feel welcome in this community and to be yourself as you prepared us a beautiful meal.
Thank you.
And then some people said, well, this is a different taste. I don't know about this. And other people said, oh, I really love the taste of this. It tastes like peace.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have the feeling you have something to say. Is that true?
No, just to express gratitude because it's I've presented it in different circumstances. It's the first time, but I really feel someone by my side, and it's a very strange feeling because yeah, it doesn't happen a lot. So thank you.
You feel one by yourself, like you're the one that's doing it. Is that right?
You feel all of us are by your side.
Some
Okay, good.
Lynn, you also act like a bridge to me, when you first spoke after Marvin, it really helped me also to bridge the two flavor, the two world. And yeah, there's a lot of bridging that you are doing for me today.
Oh, good.
Understood, Marvin, that you were saying that there was a somewhat different experience to do it with this group. Is that what you were saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm. It was so beautifully written. Well, we have to stop, and thank you so much, Marvin.
Thank you.
I have this idea. I don't know if, but to introduce this other flavor. Marvin, if you send us what you wrote, I would love to hear a couple of other voices read it and to
Okay.
just see the feeling of the difference in different voices. So
Absolutely.
if you send that to me, Marvin, maybe we'll try that. And it will be very interesting.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. Lynn.
we'll see you next week. And next week we're taking Envy to lunch.
Yes.
We'll see what that's like. And I won't be able to be with you next week. I'll be at a conference and I'll be presenting something about our project here. So I'll let you know how it is. Bye-bye now.
Ciao.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you,
Thank you.
everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.